we can be able to interpret our Python script into something real, so we won't have any issue. So okay, it's already there again, we don't need that. So let's say import thinking that I want to check if everything is still working well. Okay, everything is working. So one secret thing is about Python is this: you can code anything in Python, absolutely anything in Python. Like there's nothing you cannot create using Python. You can create a website, you can create an application. When I mean website, I mean back-end solutions for website, like for storing securities, storing passwords, storing many things like emails and stuff like that. We're going to be going through all those in the future courses, but right here we're just going to learn some little bit skills about how Python works. So let's just go through a little bit of class. We have once heard about something we call variables. Variables to work right here in Python: arrays, list, loops, many of those works here in Python. And we have some statements like the if statement, the while statement, and then the leave statement, and then the else statement. So, and even the for statement. We're going to be going through every of these usefulness of all these values and all the statements today. So let's firstly start about what we call a variable, because we know variables are containers. Variables are containers. So as we all know, variables are containers where we can add a little bit of our scripting, anything possible, anything useful, you can put it right inside it. But we all know that in JavaScript, if we want to make comments, you know what a comment is in code? Comment is when you want to keep the code from running. We have this. If we actually load this main.python, it is not going to load anything because of what? Because these are in comment. So the way to make comment in Python is by using the hash key. If they like the hashtag hash key. If you want to make use of comments in JavaScript, we use / double slash. That's it in that was in JavaScript. The one for CSS is /e, then close it with e/. Then whatever you type inside is going to be in comments. Then the one for HTML is you're going to open tag with a exclamation mark and then give it a dash, then close this right here, and then right here in between this, if you write anything in there, it's going to be in comment. So this is our comment for our Python programming. So let's start what a variable is. Num, let's just save num. Let's save numbers inside num. Let's say 2. Then let's say print num. You know, in JavaScript we make use of console.log, but in Python we make use of print. So here we have 2. We printed 2 in our script log. So right here in our console we printed 2. So we all see that num is a variable and is equal to, let's put it as let's actually put a string inside it. This is Python, and then if we do this, we can see that, yeah. So let's do this, and then let's print num. So if you guys print this out, we're gonna see this is Python writing ideally. So we can see that this is absolutely truly a variable, and still you can create something we call Boolean values, which is called true or false. So how do we make use of or? Or is like this, or false. So when we console.log, when we print, I'm to use with JavaScript sometimes, we're gonna bring out true. Let me tell you some secret about what we mean true or false. This true is a real value. Assume that true does not exist, it's not going to print out true, it's going to print out false. So Let's do this way. Then let's say let's give it a variable num1 is equal to 5. Then num2 is equal to just absolutely nothing. Then let's say print num is equal to num1 or num2, or let's turn this to be 0 and then let's print this. We're gonna have 5. Let's change the direction. Maybe we should put num2 in the front and num1 at the back. We're going to still print 5. Let me tell you the reason why we printed 5 is this. 0 is a false number. Under every programming languages, we pick, let's comment it 0 false, and just a string like this, they are all absolutely nothing. Or somehow in some programming language script, and the string might work out. Let's test that out and then let's do this, and then you see it doesn't work out. So just ordinary string is a false value. This is it. Ordinary string is just a false value. A string with nothing inside is a false value. So assuming we have one or true or a string that consists of something inside it, all these are called the true statement value. The true statement value. So all these ones are false statement value. So here it is, showing you guys that this is truly just a variable. So that is a false variable right there. So this proves to us that 0 is a false statement, but true is a true statement. 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth is a true statement. So here we go about we've completed a class for variable, because variable is just mostly a simple thing. So let's go to the operation in Python. Operation in Python is just the same thing as operation in other programming language, so we don't have a problem in the operation systems here. So let's just say print 2 plus 2. When we log this, we can have 4 in the console. Then when we say 2 plus 3, same thing as you guys know. Then when we say 3 plus 2, we have 5. Then we say 3 plus 4, we have 4, 7. Then so on and so forth. We can use 9 minus 4. It works out to be 5. We can say 10 divided by 2, and we have 5.0. And then we can have 12 times using the asterisk value, the asterisk operation, that is 36 instantly. So yeah, works out with many other things. And then we have some other values like this, and then this prints out to still be 10, and then we have more of this going on right here. So another type of binary operation that works in Python, we have 7 lesser than 2 is going to print false, because of 7 is not lesser than 2. Is 7 greater than 2? Yes, it's greater than 2. That's true. So and we have other one we have some other type we call the lesser or equal to. This is another type of operation, or to greater or equal to. So we're going to make use of that right here. 3, is it greater or equal to 3? If this is true, it has to be true, because 3 is like not greater, but it's either greater than 3 or equal to 3. As you can see, 3 is equal to 3. So let's use 2. It's still going to bring true, because of 3 is greater than 2. We're going to use this mostly in some Python script here, and we're going to say false, because of 3 is not even equal or greater than 5. And we can make use of lesser. Is this lesser or equal to 3? It's going to bring true, because 3 is equal to 3. 2 is true. It's going to be false, because of 3. No, there's a mix up right here. 3 is lesser or equal to 2. So 3 is not lesser than 2. It's not lesser to 2. So we're going to put it like 3 is lesser to 4. Is it lesser or equal to 4? Yes, we're going to have true. But is it lesser or equal to 1? We're going to have false, because of 3 is not lesser than 1. So here we are with some other values like this. So that's a gun already. And let's go straight. I'm gonna make this class so short and just go deeply inside the main thing that you guys just need to know. And then at the end of the class, we're gonna go with a lot of practices, and we're gonna build our own calculator, make use of Python, and we're gonna build an examination settings, an examination setup, make use of Python. So I'm just gonna go for the next one, which you call the if statement. So what is an if statement, guys? If statement is just like when you go to your English classes or your math classes or any type of classes or even in your daily lifestyle. When people ask you that, okay, are you going out? If you're going out, help me to buy this. Else, which means if you're not going out, help me to do this. So if statement is like giving a direct command that if you're doing this, if your age is 4, you need biro. It's just like a statement, directly statement that you use in your daily lifestyle. So let's create a variable called num is equal to 3. Then if space num is equal to double equal to, please, we need to be conscious of that. Let's make use of print num equal to. If you want to tell something that is this thing equal to this thing, you have to use a double equal sign. That is in Python. So then let's comment this, because if we don't, we're going to have an error, and then it's going to print true because 3 is truly equal to 3. So then let's close this right here, and then let's say if num is truly equal to 3, we're going to give a colon, and then what should we ask the computer to do? If the computer figure out that num is equal to 3, what should the computer do? Then the computer should print hello world. Let's now truly it printed hello world because of the computer figured out that num is truly equal to 3. That's why we have to print hello world. So let's go straight to another side of the code. So and now let's make use of the else statement we mentioned. What is this else statement just talking about? Like, if you are going out, help me to buy biro or pencils, or help me to buy an Android device. But if you're not going out, else you're not going out, else if you're not going out, just help me to do this, or don't bother. So we're gonna print else. You have to, there's something we call indentation in Python, or in even on other type of programming. So mostly you just have to do is press tab is just going to direct you to the perfect indentation, and we're not going to have any error printing it. Let me show you guys what we even mean by the indentation. So let's just say don't bother computer. So let me tell you guys about what we meant by the indentation. If we print this, we're gonna have an error saying print don't bother computer indentation error, which means is that we expected an indented block after the else statement, which means we need to differentiate the difference between the else statement and the print statement, because of the computer we think that we're not trying to make use of the else statement anymore. We just want to print don't bother computer. So we need to make sure that we're making use of the perfect indentation by pressing up tab is just going to direct to the rightful indentation. Now when we run this, we're going to have a perfect code. Now let's change this num to 1. We have don't bother computer. So here is just how we make use of if statement. There's another statement we call a leave statement. I'm going to tell you guys how a leave statement works. Now num is equal to 4. Now if num is equal to 4, print num is, let's forgetting within the string, num is equal to 4. Now so we're gonna create an elif statement. Elif statement is just like maybe, is like a maybe statement. A maybe statement, we need elif what? Elif num is greater or equal to 4. Then what should we do? Let's create an indentation. Print num is greater than 4. Now we're gonna put this one to a correct word. So now we're not going to make use of a final thing called else, which means if any of the two statements, if the if is not correct, if the elif is not correct, we have to make use of an else statement, which means print none is true. So let's run this out. Are we gonna have num is equal to 4? Now the reason why this do not run is this. Let's change this to 5. I will check what's going on, right? We're gonna see num is greater than 4. Let me tell you guys why this didn't work. Why this worked perfectly is this. If statement is not the same as a leaf statement. The reason is this. If num is equal to 4, the computer is like asking, is num truly equal to 4? Then if num is equal to 4, we gotta print num is equal to 4. But if num is not equal to 4, then the computer is going to directly go to elif and check if the elif statement is correct. Elif statement is just like if statement, but it's just like a other maybe version. It's like, if you're going to the market, print do this for me. But if you're not going to the market, if you're going to your uncle's house, or if you're going to your auntie's house, and leave if you're going to your auntie's house, help me to do this. Else, if you're not going anywhere, just don't bother. That is the relationship between if, elif, and else statement. So that is all gone. Because that is all done. We're trying our possible best to make the class very fast. There is another two different statements called the try and the accept statement. Try and accept statement. These two must be written together, please, whenever we're writing a code, so that we won't have a mistake. Sorry, this is a mistake. I've forgotten. I'm used to use with JavaScript. I'm sorry. So we need these two codes together at once with a perfect indentation. So let's say try if, let's create a variable here. If, let's say num is equal to 4. Now if num is equal to 4, then print hello. L accept, which means if any code that is in try does not work out, we need to accept that code. We need to accept that code. We need to, like, it's just like an else statement and an if statement. We need to accept those codes together. Now we're going to say print none is working in the try statement. The try statement, and then let's bring this. We're gonna have hello because hello is truly working. So let's say 2. We're gonna have no anything printed. There is a reason why we didn't have anything printed. Now we're going to go back to the script, and then we're going to check it all through where we have the mistake coming from. So let's clean this off. Now let's say accept. Now that is where our error comes from. Now accept this. No, there is an error in the statement, so let's cancel this. Let's print this alone. Now you see the code says an accept or finally block is expected, so we truly need an accept button here. So accept num is equal to 3, or somehow we print none is true. Now we have a sincere error right here, but normally this is the way it's supposed to work. I usually have some definite errors with that, so try. So don't worry guys, we'll go back on the screen of that error later after on. So normally if it is not true, it's just like make use of a leave statement and make use of an else statement. That is the relationship between try and accept. But since this is not working out, we will actually come back around and check what is the error between them. But the console could not pick a definite error between them, and it wasn't an indentation. Let's check for the perfect indentation. No, it wasn't an indentation because we have an indentation error. So okay, if number, there's an error called zero division error. We don't have that error right here. We don't have that error, so this is not expected to work because we don't have a zero division error. So that is the reason why sometimes it will not work sometimes. But assuming this num does not even exist, we can have that error, which means nothing in the try is working. So since nothing in this try is working, we have to print an accept. So if we have num is equal to 1, it is not going to run the accept because of num is a real thing. Let me tell you one thing is this: try is for no error, but why accept is for an error? Let's put that in comment. Try is for no errors and accept are for errors, which means whenever an error occurs, try is going to come in. Let's put in some errors like this. We're going to see try is going to bring out this, but because of that, so let's cancel this, and then the error comes in. So anything that comes that is inside this try, any error, let's put in some errors, like just type in some random rubbish stuff, and then this is surely going to bring an error. So when we print this, it's going to bring this error out. But let's cancel this part here, and then it's going to bring this error out. This has an indent, so right here none is true. It passes out this error because of none in this thing is actually working out. So on a normal note, that is the way it's supposed to work. And there is an error that we call this zero division error. If we run this, because of there is no zero division error, so we can just see 0, and then let's go around with this, and then we expect some error. Now there is a zero division error, and then that error only occurs when we have problems with numbers, and then we might have some definite errors. There are types of errors always coming out in the console, so then you just have to watch out for those errors, and then you can correct those errors making use of right here. So we can use some. Now we don't usually have an index error. We usually have let's make use of an indentation error. So right here, don't let us indent this to the right part. Okay, this is let's indent into here. So this is really going to anger our code right here. So we need to make this possible. Let's try. Yeah, it's gonna work out because of we have the correct indentation. Okay, let's just say and I will push this one here. It's not gonna work out because it's expected. So unexpected indentation. We're supposed to print this error, but let's not worry about that later. We'll worry about how to do all of this. So these are list of mostly the errors we face in our code. So you can just come around to any of those errors here and then use the accept key to accept button to make sure the errors are solved without any problem. So now this is the end of the try and accept statement. So there are some other statements called the for statements, the while statements, and that is two main remaining statements that we need to learn about. So I just say we go for the for statement. What is a for statement? A for statement is a loop. It's like a loop statement. So for, let's create something like this here. Num is equal to 3. So for 3 for num in num, or let's do this way, is going to go inside this num, and then it's going to create options, like it's going to continue to keep loading everything that is in num, and it is like a loop. So we can give many functions here. If for num in num, we can do it this way. So it means it's just going to come around and then check everything that is right in here. So we can say print num1. So this truly works for something we call list. This is where a list comes in. We have a bunch of codes, a bunch of text in the list. So then when we print this, look at what comes out. It comes like this, like this, like this. So there is one secret about this thing. So we can just say num1 plus plus. Then or we can say plus equal 1. And then let's print num1. Now, as you can see at the back of this, it's plus. Normally right here we stop at 8. Then due to the value we give it right here, it helps us to plus 8, 9, 8, 8, 8 again, and then 9. So then let's give it with a value called 2, and then we're going to see the difference. It gives us 8, 9, 10. What about we give the value of 100, and then let's see what we're going to have. So it comes around and give us 100, 103, which means it's plus 100 with 1 with 2, 100 with 3, 100. It keeps on plussing all of them. So that is what the usefulness for for statements can be. It's just going to go around and pick everything inside it. So we can say num1 lesser than, or let's say, okay, let's just make the value to be just 1, and then we can say num then lesser than 3, and then it's a list, so we need to confirm the list. Let's firstly print num1 then plus 20, plus equal to 20, then 22. So there is a way we can actually so we're going to get more to know about even the first statement, because of there are still some more hidden secrets about this for statement. Somehow it can even be used as a loop, so we can even keep learning about it. So we can even make use of something like this. So let's try to do it in like a JavaScript style. Though I think somehow I always think JavaScript is always more easier than Python. So I can say for 3 lesser than, if it's actually in what's called if it's actually in JavaScript, we can make use of things like if 3, like let's say num is equal to 1, we can just say if num is greater than 0, and then we can say and this is not going to work right here in Python, and then the num is equal to 1, and so we're just going to say and then num is equal to 1. You can just say, so we just have a lot of codes right here. So but for that, just leave that. There's another thing that we can call a while loop, or there is a while loop, and then this loop is just going to keep going around and doing the exact thing you asked it to do all over again, without stopping, without breaking, without cutting. That's what we call a while loop. So I can just say while true print hello. So I mistakenly debug, so I'm just gonna close out. I mistakenly debug something. So as you guys can see, we just have the while loop repeating itself all over again with ultimate speed. Just keep repeating itself. So here's all called a while loop. So we can just say num plus is equal to 1, then print num. We're gonna see this loop. See how crazy and fast it runs, and then the number is already up to like hundreds of it. So there is only one way to stop a while loop. It is a secret code called break. It's just going to go once and break. So it's just gonna break, And there's another one you call continue. You're just gonna stop. But if you want to make use of continue, you'd have to have break before. You have to make use of continue. It's just gonna continue, and then below we can have break. And somehow it's not gonna continue because these two, I guess, they end themselves. So you're just gonna do it this way, and it's gonna break. So here's just about while loop and the way while loops work. So you guys have learned the ultimate things that you need in Python. Okay, the other things I think we just need to learn that we already learned about is list. What is a list and how can we access a list? This list is somehow called an arrays in JavaScript. So we just have to learn about. So in a list, there is nothing we cannot pack in a list. Let me just tell you what a list is. A list is like a basket. So in a basket, you can pack bananas, potatoes, chips, all sort of things inside the basket, and you can still access all those things inside the basket. So right here, let's pack some of our market things, the things we want to go buy from the market. I bought banana, so I wanted to pack banana here. You know, these are mostly what you can use as in case if you are a business marketer and then you want to create an application for business marketing. You use a list where you're going to pack loads of what those people do, creation of list at every single time, what those people buy, what do people create, what do people use. You're going to create it for them inside a list. So I'm going to show you guys some secret things about list and then some secret things in list. So I bought apple and then ginger, such of a random stuff, onions, and then some sort of random stuff, pepper, and then yeah, that's enough for me. I bought enough stuff. So when I print my num, I have what I bought. I bought banana. That was a nice thing I bought. I bought apple, ginger, onion, pepper. So what about if I just want to access one of these things without me even mentioning the name? So there is a secret key called index. Index is a number in a list or an array which comes from 0 to the end. As you can see guys, in the num basket value we have 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5. We have 5 items inside our basket. Let me tell you how arrays now work. You don't start anything in Python or in other type of programming starting from 1. You don't count an items in an array starting from 1 2 3 4 or so on and so forth. No, you start with 0 1 2 3 4. So in order for me to access basket banana, I'm going to make use of 0 because banana is one at the front, and I'm going to print banana out here without even saying it. I want to print banana. 2, I'm just going to print this out, ginger, because ginger is one at the top, the third item, which on the counting it is like 2. You know, in the binaries, if you want to count in binaries, you count from 0 1 2 3. So here is how we have that, and you can print the fifth one as fourth index, which is going to be the last as pepper. So here are some example of what we can do. Now in the num, we can append another item inside our baskets. So what did I want to append? I just went to the baskets and I just bought another new thing. So, and I want to add it to my basket, what I already had in my store. I just bought a garlic. So I just want to print back. I want to know the numbers of what I have. When I print back, I see garlic added to what I already buy. So, and I can just add a bunch of stuff again. I can put this back again inside an array, and then I made a list, and then I can just add some random stuffs again, potatoes, and then I can just have some locust beans. Got some locust beans, and many other stuff, and I'm just gonna print back my num, and I'm going to see a bunch of local stuffs in it. Though by the time I see those local stuffs in my thing, I saw another array in another array. I saw another list in my list. What is going on? It's like when you have a basket in another basket. It's possible, guys. It's like you have a bag inside another bag. It's like you have a bag, then you have a purse in your bag. The bag consists of many things, including the purse itself. So how do you access things like this? Because this seems different. Now, when we count from the index value, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 was our normal thing, was the normal items we have, except when we start to add garlic, potatoes, and locust beans. So then we're just gonna make it count, and then we're gonna call this 5, index 5, and then we have garlic, potatoes, whatsoever. So then we can just make another thing like this. We can access garlic, which means inside the fifth list, we want to access something out of that fifth list. We're just gonna make use of another list out here and put the value 0, index 0, and then we're gonna access garlic. We can put the index 1, we can access tomatoes, and we can put the index 2, we can access local beans. So right here again, I might still add another index again right here. I might call this index some other sort of a thing I actually buy from the market again. I can call this salt, and then I bought milk, chocolates. So I guess this is enough, right? So by the time we print this again, we see local beans, but let's just print the normal num. What do we have again? We have nested items, nested layout, nested different thing. We have the nested list where we have in a big list we have bananas, apple, ginger, onions, pepper, and we have another list again inside that, which is garlic, tomatoes, locust beans, and then inside that list we have another list. So how do we access our third list here? The first list, on the last level, we have one from banana is 1, from banana is 0, apple is 1, ginger is 2, onions is 3, pepper is 4. So the list that was next is the fifth index. We're gonna write fifth, and then from this one we have 0, 1, 2, which is garlic is 0, potato is 1, local beans is 2, which means the third index is the last item. So we can make use of third, and then now we want to access from that index. Let's make use of 0, and let's print this. We're gonna have salt. Salt is what is in the third list. So there is how we access our list items. And there's another secret again I would like to show you guys. Is this secret is, let's go right here, and then let's go right there. So now, assuming I just want to print out 3 different items, and then the items are the first 3 items, which is banana, apple, and ginger. I can just write 0:3. By the time I print this, it's gonna print banana, apple, and ginger. So here is how we can print just some sort of, it's like a slide statement. So right here, that is all right. We can remove some item out of our list. So how do we do this? We can just let's make use of some value. We can remove 0 out of it. So we can, okay, let's sort this out. Or we set the list to remove x is not in the list. So let's say banana. I sometimes always have this so by the time we now print num, banana won't be in the num anymore because we removed banana. So you can say remove local beans, locust beans. So okay, the said local beans is not there. I think we did a misspelling. Local beans, okay, sorry, is in the third array. So is in the second array, or is in the third? Okay, is in the second array. So we need to go straight into the second array by connecting to the first, then connecting to the second array by putting it to 2. Then okay, just the second array, that's just one. Then dot remove locust beans. It's just like you have some things in your bag, then you have some things in your purse. You know you need to open your bag before you can be able to open the purse. If you remove the thing from the bag, you cannot remove it from the purse. So you need to unleash them one after the other. So by the time we print num5, we're going to see that there is no more local beans inside our list any longer. So banana is not out, banana is back because of we didn't remove banana anymore, we removed locust beans. So as you guys can see, locust beans is no more in this value anymore. So that is another thing we can learn about list. So num dot, then the other things are just absolutely not that to responding anymore. So we can just say count, so just print this one. So we need to give it an argument, then we can just, let's count the first statement right here. So it is a 0, so let's count the fourth one, so it's still a 0. So I guess let's count garlic is still at 0. Okay, so let's count potatoes. It's just printing a constant value 0. Okay, so somehow sometimes you even need to just put in some stuff like this. So let's just go for dots. Let's go, okay, we're done. So we can do something we call pop. Now if you just say pop, you don't need to stress yourself. Pop is going to go in and just remove anything at the end of the list. It's just going to pop anything out of the list, like just anything out of the list. So let's bring this out and bring it here, and then let's delete this, and then let's print none. So by the time we see we has removed the last list, it's going to pop anything from the back. No matter what is at the back, it's just going to remove that thing. Anything at the back, it's going to pop it away. So that is another function from list. So list of these functions I just done like that. So those are the main things we need to learn about. Insert, we gotta learn insert. Maybe we can insert this thing. We want this thing to start at value 3. What is the thing we want to insert? We want to insert itself, just random stuff. So by the time we print this, you will see that anything at the index 3 would have changed. So you see the index 3 has already changed. 0, 1, 2, 3. What was in index 3 before, which was it added itself in this index 3, it shifted everything. Now it's created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why normally we only have 5, but it's inserted this thing in index 3. So that's what we just need to learn more about that. So that's done. That's a done thing. So there is other type of script we need to learn about, which is just this, and somehow I want everyone. So this is like it's not normal, we can't call this a list, but it's like a dictionary. So right here we can put levels of things here. Let's just add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let's put this in accordingly. Like let's start from 9, 3, 2, 4, 5, 6, 12, 1. By the time we print this, you will see this to be brought accordingly. It will put it back to the normal numerical order. Starting from 2 is the smallest, 3 is the smallest. So it understands and helps us to direct things back to the normal way they're supposed to be. Now let's say I A G J F and stuff like that. Let's print this. You see, it's just normally it's going to bring it back to the normal value. So let's do this out. So let's put them in different. Let's not put them in the same string, so that the dictionary can be able to do its normal work. So let's print this out. We're going to see something different now. it's rearranged these things. Though it's rearranging doesn't seem alphabetical, but at least this is what we arranged, and then this is what comes out. And it does not repeat any value. We repeated I here, which is 1, 2, 3, but it does not repeat I. It shortened the value, is shortened the statements inside this. So let's make this different. So let's say O, let's put a capital A, let's put capital P, and let's put a small letter L. Now let's print this. You're going to see that it brought the small letters in the front and gives the capital at the back. So this is what we call a dictionary level. So it's like a smart looking thing in Python. Don't me, it always seems like it's just a fashion thing. So here are the main things we learn about in Python. Now there is something else more useful that we need to learn about. It is called a function. Now, what is a function? A function is like more sort like a house, a home, or a family, which consists of many type of people, many sort of codes, many sort of things, many sort of everything brought inside a family bearing one name. So this is how we set a function. We call it def. The name of the function, let's call it hello world, and then open bracket, just colon. Here is the name of the family, in case you guys do not know. So the surname of this family is hello world. So let's drop in some things inside. Let's say print hello. Let's say print hello. Print I am coming home. Print tell your mommy I'll provide some. So let's now call for this code, which is the name of the family. See, let me tell you, if you just create a function without calling it, if we run this, nothing is going to work because we didn't call the name of the family. How do we know that we're talking to this family? So we're just going to call hello world. Just called it that way, and then print this. We're going to have everything we write inside the family to come out. Hello, I'm coming home. Tell your mommy I'll be back soon. So here is just a simple way on how we can make use of functions, using use of def as the name of the function, and then we give it a name right here. So there is another ways in function that I want you guys to know. So we can just do this way. So let's say num is equal to, let's write something right here. We want to write a name of someone. Someone wants to get a job in our tech company, and we want to write the person's value. We want to know this person's personality. There are ways we can accomplish all this. We're just gonna come around and write name, age, occupation, location. Okay, so right here. Now, what I'm gonna say, print name, age, occupation, location, right here. So by the time we want to call this family name, you need to provide all these things. If you just run it, these things are not going to work. It's going to tell you that this function type error, hello world missing 4 required positional arguments. What are these arguments? The name, the age, the occupation, and then the location. We need to provide this 4. In order for us to provide this 4, we need to get a name of someone. We're just going to say Mox George, and then the person's age is 42, and then the occupation is a software engineer. He's a software engineer. So, and Okay, the process location is England. Let's say England. So by the time we print this, we should just expect a very nice. So it's printed according to what we sent it to do. It's printed Marks George, 42 years old, whatsoever, so on and so forth. So let's just make some adjustments to our classic job so we can have something more beautiful than this. So let's put all of this inside. I would have said we should put it all inside a statement or inside a list, but I don't think that's required, guys. So let's just do this print. The name is plus name. So that's one thing about plus. If you can plus a string to a string and then it's going to come out. You cannot plus a string with a integer, which is a number. If you plus such, it's not going to work. So let's print again. Then the age, then is, then let's plus age. Then let's print. Then is a, let's give it a space here, plus occupation. Then print he lives at plus location. So let's run this. So let's see how this works. Okay, yeah, now's the problem again. I mentioned something to you guys. We cannot add, we cannot concatenate a string with an integer. We can only concatenate a string with a string. So how can we convert this number to a string? Python provides us this kind of a function that just helps us, which we call str. Str can be used to convert a number to string, and another one which is called integer can be used to convert a string number to a number. So we're just making use of string, so let's call that. It works out. The name is Mosh, whatever. So we just make it more funny, so we need to make some adjustment. Occupation, let's just do this. Age, let's just do this. Just do this to it. So name, I just do this, and then location for the final variable, because I want the class to be fast. So location, and this, I guess that's all. So you see how nice and cool this looks like. So let's give some spaces so to make it more fascinating. So look at this. This is a perfect, like it's a perfect entire DOD system where you can save someone's information, their name, their job, everything can be saved inside a function like this, and then all of these can just be brought straight into a, brought into is a, like it can be saved inside a statement. I mean inside maybe a list, or maybe inside a dictionary. Anything you just want to save it in, you might just pop all of these inside a list. So how can we pop all of these inside the list? So let's just make that possible. So process list is equal to a list, an empty list that nothing is inside. Remember, don't put any of this list inside the function, because we want to make sure that anytime anyone just comes in and then keep on loading this thing is not going to change, but it's going to change a little bit, and I'm going to tell you guys why it is going to change. So the reason why it's going to change is that this, anytime Python loads maybe a variable, the variable is going to exist and going to recreate itself. So if we add, as we, this is an empty string. Okay, let me just say it, let me just do it rather than talking about it. So let's just process list, let's append then this. Now there is a secret key again in Python called F. Now if you write name, there's something called F. So right there in this F statement, you can do something. You can actually create a dictionary inside, and then when you create a dictionary inside, instead of this name to be a string, no, the name is going to direct itself to this name right here. So you can do comma, another, inside the same string, create a dictionary, call it age with a comma, and then another dictionary, call it occupation, and then comma, another dictionary, call it location. Now when we append this, let's print this also, print process list. Then let's do this. So inside our process list we have this. If we redo this again, we know we're supposed to have maybe 2 or 3 or 4, but we still have the same list. The reason is this: whenever Python loads a variable, it deletes the variable and recreate the variable again. That is why we have Node.js, Angular.js, why whenever we reload our website or reload our application, it's always this stored in a backend.js, like it's like a PHP or whatever you're gonna use for a security mode. That's why you don't have to lose customers relation, or you can just create a txt file right here in Python, and then you can just save your information inside that txt. We're going to go through that maybe later in this class. So we're done with the functioning thing, and then one thing I want us to go through is something we call class and objects. Now class is mainly what I want us to go through here. So class, we can just create a class. Now what does a class mean? A class is just like a classroom. A classroom where we have different type of students, art students, science student, or a school where we have a science student, or we have an art student, where you have an e-commerce student, all sort of courses, all sort of maybe anything, but still under the same class, under the same school, under the same mode of lesson. So now that's what we call class, and we can give it a name. Let's give this one a name, window, and then let's give it an open bracket, and then this. So let's do some few works in here. Let's call some functions inside our window. Let's call this function name, and then somehow it gives us self, but we don't need self. So let's say print hello. Then let's create another def. You might have some errors, but don't care. Don't worry about that. Only errors that will disturb you that you should only worry about. Don't worry about the errors that can disturb you. These errors can disturb you. Hello 2. Then I'm trying to show you that you can unpack as much as many functions you like inside the statement here. So print hello 3. So now, okay, no, you need to worry about this one because this is a string mistake. So now let's call our function by saying name 1, name 2, name 2. Now let's now call the entire class window. Let's print this. We're gonna have our printing of each div. So that is why I said you can actually access, and you can access which one of the function you want the class to pick. Let's just say dot this name. I may cancel this entire one and then just say dot this name, but we're gonna have some actual errors because of it's expected to use self here. So let's just cancel this and then do this way. Now we have hello. Now we can do name 1, and then we have hello 2. We can do name 2, and we have hello 3. So you can access any of these making use of class. So that is all, and I hope you guys enjoyed the class for that one. So let's create a basic calculator. Another thing I want you guys to learn about is called input. What is input? You remember in JavaScript we have something we call input, where you can be able to type some random stuff in it. So let's say input is equal to input open bracket, enter your name, and we can say print this input. Now let me tell you the catch here. this input here you're looking at is just a variable. You can change it to anything you like. You can change it to verb, you can change it to anything, but this is the object where we have input. This is like a placeholder. In case if you guys know something about JavaScript, this is a placeholder where you can actually do this. And then so let's run this out. So here we have enter your name. My name is Michael, and then we can print, sorry, let's print Vav. I've changed the name, so we say what's your name? My name is Michael, and then sorry, and then it prints out my name, Michael. So that is what we call input, and this is part of what we're going to be using for creating our basic calculator. So how do we create our calculator? Let's create a class. Oh, I don't want to use a class, I just want to use a number default function. So in let's make use of a class to make it more funny, and then to object to make sure you guys understand about our classes since morning. So let's do this. So let's create an input. So we're gonna call this vav1 is equal to input, enter your first number, and then so this person enters his own first number. I'm a little bit lazy, so let me just copy this and then change this to vav2, enter your operator, because you know the operator needs to be in the middle. Operators like plus or minus, anything. And then this one should be the second number, and then this one is vav3. Now, so after this we're done with what we want to complete. Let's just create a def function, and then let's name this one calculate. We're removing the self, and you guys can leave the self in case you just want to leave. So now in this calculate, what do we need to do? We need to create some if statements. I'm going to say if the operator which we save in the variable called vav2, we're going to say if vav2 is equal to plus, we're going to put the plus in string, then what's going on? I think it's not able to access this vav, so let's pack this vav stuff outside. Let's pack it outside so we can be able to access it. Is equal to vav2. Let's just say let's create something here. Let's just create this value. We call it result is equal to this. So now we're gonna say result. Okay, we're still having the correct issue again, so let's put them outside. Result is equal to the vav1, but in case you know every type of variable, if you do not tell the variable to be in numbers, the variable will automatically be in string. So variables that comes like this, especially from the input sign, it is always, I mistakenly deleted that, it is always in string. So let's write that back. This got to input open bracket, enter your first number. So I mistakenly delete that, so automatically it will be in number. So we need to, it will be in string, so we need to turn this to number. We're going to say vav integer vav. That is the way of transforming text to numbers, only if that text is like in string 3 or like string 4 or like double quote 4, anything like that. So but if it's like you're saying hello and you put the word integer this, we're gonna have an error surely, because of that is the text. So we're gonna say plus integer vav2. Now so let's just copy to be a little bit more faster, because we're already 1 hour in the class. So let's change this one to be minus, and then we have a result shown here, and then right here, or simply let's just print this, so we don't need to stress ourselves. Let's just print, I'm sorry, because of indentation, let's just print this, and let's just print this. So if this one is this, we're going to minus. Let's press the minus button. So right here, if this one is still that, we have to make use of divide. No, I mean divide, and then we're going to divide here, and then let's paste again, and then if this one is asterisk, we need to asterisk. I think we're done. So let's just call our class. This is a simple way of creating the symbol calculator. Let's call simple.calculate, and let's check it out. Let's use the number 12 with the operator of plus with the second number of 12. Yeah, we have an error. What's our error? Oh, sorry, we'll make use of valve2 instead of valve3. You know, valve3 was the variable where we saved our second number, so we're supposed to make use of valve3. I'm sorry for that mistake. We're supposed to make use of valve3. So let's repeat that. Numbers is 12 plus 12, 24. Of course, we're correct. So numbers is 34 and then minus and then 21, then correct. So you guys, I hope you guys enjoy the class. In the next coming class, we're going to learn how to make use of taking tar for many other things, and then some other things in programming or Python and other type of programming languages. Import